Hello.
Hello. So, we're PostPanic. Mischa, Jules. Okay, we're gonna basically try to squeeze what was once a 2-hour presentation into 15 minutes. Thanks for that, Bert. I'm going to give you a bit of background on us first, and PostPanic, which is going to make sense in relation to Sundays, the project we really want to dive into. So we're PostPanic. Basically, I think we started working together a long time ago, art school.
This is the long version, Jules.
It was the 90s. I'm warming up here. Essentially, we started making a film together, which was called at the time Time for Panic. We always called it Panic. Then we started to do commissioned work, and everything after became PostPanic. That was pretty short. So these days, I mean, we've grown into, we are a production studio, we have our own post facilities, we have our in-house directors, and essentially PostPanic is, I mean, we have the Panic program, which is sort of our young upcoming directors label. We do a lot of commercial projects, obviously, but we also do a lot of free projects, our own projects. We also have the Panic Room, which is one of the events that we organize, which is more about inspiration. So we, twice a year, invite speakers to come over to our studio, and they have to talk about the stuff that actually drives them creatively. Then last week, actually in Barcelona, we launched PostPanic Pictures, and that's where it becomes interesting for tonight. Like I said, we started off making films, then we ventured off into commercials, but already a couple of years ago, we started to talk about films again. And Mischa had this idea for what was a short, and then became a feature, and a short, and a feature, and a feature again. And that's called Sundays, which is at the moment our passion project. Sundays is going to be released hopefully in 2-3 months as a short / trailer / proof of concept. And are you still with me? So the idea is to go into, next to commercials and all the other stuff we do, into filmmaking. So that's what we've been working on for a while. And there it is. So, like I said, we're going to try to squeeze in a lot of visuals as well. So maybe we can use the side screens now. And I think Mischa's going to take you on the journey.
Yeah, I'm going to have to really cram a lot of talk into a few words. I think what I'm going to do is show a lot of stuff. On the side screens are a collection of material that we've churned out over the, I think, last 7 years already. This project for me started 7 years ago in my head, and these were the first kinds of babies I've, getting the ideas on paper. I think it would be wise, because it started as a short film, and I worked out the whole short film thing, and we were ready to go into production. Then by sheer coincidence, we got a call from Warner Brothers, Hollywood, and they were looking for new directors, and I got sent loads of scripts, and I didn't like them all, and then I basically sent the whole project to them, and they said, that's going to be your feature film. And that's basically the moment we started thinking about, okay, let's do this. And that's already kind of 4 years ago. That's kind of how slow this whole process has been. But this is going to loop for a while. I'm not going to be in, don't have the time to go really, really in depth in this. I think it would be really wise to see kind of where we are now, which is the very first teaser we put out, I think in December last year. Yeah. This is the project as it is now. Can we
dim maybe the lights a bit?
Oops.
When I close my eyes at night, there is only darkness. When I open my eyes in the morning, there is only this. Our world, eternal, fixed, like the sun.
So that, as you can see already, it's grown kind of epic. That's always my fault. So that's the teaser. We have a second one, which has been, we put out this week actually, has premiered in Barcelona last Saturday. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm going to show that way at the end. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you a bit about, how much time do I have? A bit about the story. So, David, the day. Okay, the story is as follows. I cannot tell too much because I can't, basically. I'm not allowed. So I'm going to try to sketch the world a bit. The feature story, because this is the prologue to the feature. We just got back from LA for a 2-week trip and talked to all the studios and got everybody enthusiastic about the project. I did this kind of pitch. The feature film takes place in 2 time zones. The first part is very much the present plus 10, 12 years. This film is about systems, about society getting too complex, about our, as a species we've become too reliant on technology. I feel like I'm preaching in the wrong church. But that's, no, it's my idea, okay? So that's kind of a given. I always use the example of the financial crisis like 5 to 7 years ago. Nobody knows what the fuck happened. We're still like pointing at each other. Did you? Nobody actually knew. So these systems are becoming unmanageable, I guess, and becoming kind of very dangerous. It's also about, I need those 10 to 12 years plus the present to have this idea evolve, that information and technology. If you look at who's actually building our future, who's actually thinking about our futures right now, it's not governmental anymore. They're not looking further than like 4 years, which is the next term. It's very corporate owned. It's very Apple. It's very Facebook. It's Google. It's whatever. Microsoft. Those companies. In my script, in the idea of the script, is that we merge those companies, the owners of science and the owners of technology and the owners of information, which is evil. They become one big company, and without them actually really wanting to be evil. I mean, look at Google. They basically started out as, we're sharing information, freedom of information. And the moment you own this information, there's always this little evilness dripping in, I guess. So we have this world that's really complex. I compare it to the last days of the Roman Empire, and we have this really giant company there. Then nature steps in, which is a fact, basically. We have, once every century, there's a big sun flare hitting us, the Earth. And I think the last one was 19th century. Not a lot happened. I think a few telegrams didn't arrive. If that would happen now, we'd be fucked. Well, there's all kinds of scenarios of, scales of fuckness that, how fucked we would be. In my script, it would be totally fucked. Boom, 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 end of the world. But there's one organization, one structure that's robust enough to survive this initial end of the world, which of course is Linux. And Linux is actually the company you see right there. Also design. So now they are in charge of creating this brave new world. There's no governments anymore, there's no social pressure, there's no ethic debates anymore, cloning, robotics, DNA, everything is a go. So they are now empowered to create a brave new world. That's where I cut into the film. We go to the second part, which now I have to be really careful. So you would imagine the second part is 50,000 years into the future. You would imagine a lot has been changed, but nothing has changed. On the surface, the world looks exactly the same, but it's not. It's an exact copy of those last few Roman days. And the film actually deals, the lead guy, the main person, deals with the fact that he's layering, he's getting all this, these fake layers off and looking for the truth, basically. That's the Hollywood version of it. And that's all I can say, basically. But there's a huge cooperation involved. Maybe I think a good idea was to show the making of. There's a bit of explanation in there, and there's a bit of world creation in there. Let's put that one on.
So basically, maybe good to know, we got some money also from Kickstarter, which allows us to go to Mexico City for the shoot.
Sundays is a project I've been working on for the past 5 years. It started out as a short movie, an idea for a short movie, and it gradually grew into this huge, epic, full-length feature right now. So this film is about a young man on his search for the truth. And basically everything he's ever known or think he's experienced turns out to be a lie. What's going to be really fascinating is that the majority of the story of the film is going to take place 50,000 years into the future, which sounds far away, but it isn't, because it's basically a copy of the world as we know it now, and we place it into the future. Now the fun part begins. Like in every copy, there's tiny mistakes, and tiny mistakes grow bigger over time. So after 50,000 years, we have sometimes, really grotesque looking environments or even social behavior. There's a lot of visual stunningness that we can create from a premise just like that.
For us, it's exciting to see what happens when Mischa is unleashed, when the person that's deciding how far to push it is him and not the client.
Yeah, we've managed to pull this off. Only recently through raising the money or bits of the money through Kickstarter.
And then when we got the money, actually it was quite fast that we started producing this.
I loved the project from the get-go. It was really interesting and really exciting, and we started talking over Skype and just kicked off from there.
So finally we're here to shoot the movie Sundays. So we're using Mexico as a base, and we've got to add a lot of special effects.
I don't normally like to watch myself, my performances, but this particular project I'm really excited to watch. These guys are going to spend months and months and months working on the project after leaving Mexico City.
The story is very fragmented. It jumps very much back and forth in time, and the scenes are not very connected yet. So it's a bit of a challenge to understand every layer of the character and where he is at a certain time.
Well, this is a short. It's also a trailer for the feature, but it needs to work as a short all by itself.
I really like that Mischa had everything totally planned. That was amazing. I mean, from the moment I saw the video, I was surprised, how he knew exactly what he wanted to do. When we actually met him, he told us shot by shot, he explained how everything was going to be, and that was the way we shot it.
The next step is for the project is once we've done the shoot, we go into post-production, and there's a lot of post-production in this film. There's a lot involved, and I cannot wait. That's actually, this is the fun part, but that's also really the fun part, because now you get to really mold the film into the direction where you want it to happen visually, and so that's very exciting. And there's a lot of people are going to help us out, all with the good heart. And when it's actually done, it should actually hit, pretty much explode. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen. boom, action. Okay, did you notice the awesome Wacom stuff that we have? No. Okay, so if you look at the screens, maybe you should just put, okay. Lots of post work, a lot of design involved. Architecturally, you know, if you look at the machines, everything has to be designed from the ground up, and it has to be realistic. So we're using like existing machinery and then Lego them, and you know, make different stuff out of it.
So just play the.
Yeah, just play the.
This is like visual effects making of.
So while I'm talking, you can just enjoy a bit of how we make some of those shots there. As I said, there's this huge company which is called Lennox in the film, and the company itself, if you look at over there, it needs design, it needs corporate design, it needs all the machines, all the suits. The architecture is really, really important in the film. So basically, we use Mexico City as kind of a ground layer, and we build our world on top of it. So there's loads in all levels, from the 2D level, which you can see over there, to the actual 3D level. It's all has to be designed and thought of, I guess. So there should be kind of music underneath here, but yeah, whatever, some music. This could go on forever, actually. I think next up I want to present the Dutch premiere of the teaser 2, which is not this one.
So yeah, this is almost done. So as you can imagine, it's quite a project.
Yeah, I just see the clock like. This is not funny, guys. Really, I hate that clock. Okay, but digital design all the way through the whole project of the film. I think from the beginning on, from the sketches, for the sketch to survive, all the way through the end of the film process. Everything in between there, from 3D to 2D stuff, we need digital design. This thing is a lot longer than I expected, Jules.
It's good, huh?
I really want to show you guys the second teaser before we got kicked out. Shall we just move and do the second?
Well, maybe good to know that the shoot was actually almost 2 years ago, so it has been a while. And because this is still like a passion project at the moment, so there's no actual money for it, we kind of have to juggle it around our commercial endeavors. Let's just move on to...
Boom. Okay, if we can maybe kill some of the lights. Oh yeah, this is very interesting. This is actually designed by Ash Thorpe, a world-renowned graphic designer and film titles designer. If you Google his name, there's a lot of amazing people working on this from all over the world. So it's kind of like, you know, the center, the heart of the project is here, right here in PostPanic in Amsterdam. But there's a lot, I mean, loads and loads and loads of people from all over the world working on this.
It's probably backers even here.
It's probably backers here. Thanks, guys and Gerald.
Okay,
let's do it. Let's do it. The teaser 2.
Can we dim the lights?
Dim the lights.
Please?
Dutch premiere.
What if the things you know are just a made-up story? An illusion? A lullaby? A bedtime fairy tale? And you're still asleep?
That's teaser 2. Thanks so much. Film's gonna go out in... Kan je nog doordrukken?
Yeah, we hope to be finished in the end of the summer, fall-ish.
Oh, that's thanks. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. I have my own. So thanks a lot, guys.